This is a bit of a difficult tip to share. I'm not so sure if it's a business tip or not. But have you ever been in a situation where you are desperate for something to happen? So desperate, and that thing doesn't happen. I've been in a situation where I lost about 3 projects within a short space of time. And I lost them at a point in time in my life where I desperately needed the money. And, I was shattered. I was very disappointed that those projects did not happen. And what I've since learned and realized since then is there's just something, about when you are desperate for something that things don't happen. I was having a similar discussion with a friend, and she basically shared the story about how it was basically an example. So you imagine John and Peter. John wants to go acting. So he asked Peter, his friend, to say, Peter, please accompany me to the auditions. So Peter is like, I'm not so sure, but okay, it's fine. Let's go. I'll wait for you in the car. So you'll go in, you do your auditions. I'll wait for you in the car. When they arrive at the place, John gets inside to the building. He gets to go and do his auditions. Peter is left behind in the car, but because it's a bit cold, Peter decides, you know what? Let me rather wait inside. Maybe inside it's warmer. I'll pull my laptop. I'll do some work at the reception area while I'm still waiting for John to finish his auditions. So Peter takes his laptop, gets inside the building, waits at the reception. Fast forward later, John doesn't get the part that he was looking for. As one of the directors is pacing up and down inside the building, outside the building, the director sees Peter on his laptop. And he looks at him and he's like, you know what? I think there's a certain part that we have. I think you might be the right person for the part. Do you mind coming through and let's see if, the way you look, the way, you are posed with your laptop, I think you're suitable for a specific part. John gets in there, and he gets a part. He didn't plan for it, but he gets a part. So you can imagine the awkwardness as they are driving back in the car. The one who was desperately looking for the acting role did not get it. And the one who was not even looking for it got it. I don't know what this means, but I've seen it happen quite a lot. I've seen it happen in my entrepreneurship journey when I'm desperate for a contract or I'm desperate for a project and it doesn't happen. And I'll be busy minding, in other instances, I'll be busy minding my own business, doing something, minding my own things, doing something, then I'll get a call. And there's this big projects. Hey, we were looking for you, or I was referred to you by so-and-so. We have this project and would like you to do it. We checked your profile, we checked this and that, and we think you're the perfect person for the project. I wasn't looking for it. I was minding my own business. So I don't know what is it about desperation that somehow seems to block things for people. Maybe it's God's wisdom, God's will. I'm not so sure. But the tip that I can share with you is maybe, just maybe, if you don't become too desperate for something, that thing, somehow the heavens will open the doors and the gates, and that thing will happen. And when you're desperate for something, for some reason, that thing doesn't happen. So sometimes when you go and you do things that delight you, that you are able to get through, to get done on your own, maybe go on with that, right? Maybe pursue that. And those things that you're desperately looking for, if you're not pushing for them hard and desperately, if you don't do that, and if you give them breathing space, maybe those things will happen. So I don't know how to classify this tip, but it's a tip that, has been in my heart and my mind lately for some time. And I want to wish you all the best in whatever that you are trying to achieve. But I would just like to advise that maybe if you can, not be desperate, and there's a chance that it will happen on its own. Thank you for listening.